Hello there. It's Mike.
And Katie.
It's episode 115, and what are we talking about today, Katie?
Movies.
On this week on Cup of Rad.
Hi, everyone. Mike's sticking his tongue out at me. That's how we're starting this episode.
I'm silently protesting.
I don't know what he's silently protesting, but...
Oh, I got too close to the mic and she tased me.
They're not supposed to know.
Hey, everyone, we're back.
There we go.
Hello there.
And Mike's all better.
Hello there.
Maskless. Is
Hello there.
feeling better? Gotta get all that in.
Are you feeling better? Are you feeling better having me in your ears?
Oh, he's feeling that. He's definitely feeling better. He's flirting with you.
Oh, if I was flirting, they would know. They would know.
It's February, right? We got to kick off all
it's romantic stuff, right?
All that romantic stuff.
Like, totally like romantic. You're like into me, aren't you?
Like, oh my God, totally.
Now, we joke about this, but we didn't watch any romantic movies.
Not at all,
So
no.
sorry. That maybe that'll be next weekend.
I don't know. I think I've made my stance on like random romantic movies pretty clear on here.
Rando romance? That sounds dirty.
Random romance? There's no romance in that.
It could be.
It could be.
You know, but...
Rando romantic time. Yeah, no.
No. Hey, you know what's kind of fun? Guess what? We're on Amazon now.
It's so exciting.
So if you have a Echo device,
an Amazon smart device.
Yeah, you just have to say,
Alexa, play Cup of Rad podcast.
That's right.
And it works.
Alexa, play Cup of Rad podcast. And if any of you have that, I hope it is playing right now for you.
You're welcome.
Somewhere else. Not on the device, because that would be weird. But, you know, there you go. You know. Now you can listen to us almost everywhere.
Yeah,
we're getting more and more services.
In the States, they had it a little earlier, I think, and now it's in Canada as well, which is pretty awesome.
Yep. So there's another way you can listen to us. Not only are we on iTunes, Spotify, we got back on YouTube.
Oh yeah, because they had their little glitch, right?
Yeah, and then we're on Amazon, and we're on Google Podcasts as well. So
yeah.
I'm pretty sure you can tell your Google device to play us as well.
I believe we're supposed to be on iHeartRadio. I have not been able to figure that out because I don't use iHeartRadio. I'm curious if anyone listens to us on that. If it does work, let me know.
So yeah, we're everywhere. So
is that exciting?
I got some fun feedback for you. So the other day, through work, it was all socially distanced. One of our listeners is also a friend. He comes in and tells me that now we've made him a crazy person on the bus.
It just made my day. I knew where this was going, and I was like, yes.
And I was like, well, what do you mean? He's like, well, I was listening to your podcast, and when you got to the part in Thundercats when Bengali talks like when he's trying to talk like this.
You're trying to make him crazy again, I see.
It made my morning. It made my morning so much to know that on the bus, he broke out laughing.
Yeah.
So that was fantastic. I would like to thank you for that. Justimus Prime, I'll use your Instagram handle, because that was hilarious. Only to find out that I called him a dick some point in that day. And I said, you'll get that reference when you get to our next episode. And then a few days later, I got a message saying, dude. So I'm glad that our podcast can not only put a smile on your face, but also on mine when you respond to things that we have said.
Always good. Always good.
So we are drinking some coffee tonight, some spent ground coffee. You know what? Watching
decaf, because I've had a lot of coffee today. Is this decaf? Right?
Yeah, but
we just had a lot I
didn't
didn't have any other coffee outside of you. No, I didn't cheat on you with coffee.
I said, bitch. Did you actually say it to her face?
Oh, I said it to her face. You didn't say it to your face, did you? That has become like almost happens every day now, and
not every day.
It makes me laugh so much every time.
Yep. So where were we going? Oh, we were having coffee. You know, watching WandaVision with their little commercials makes me want to do little like commercials on our podcast. Yeah. You know, so if anyone wants to, you know, throw us a bone and we can try to write you up some old fashioned jingle, you know.
Nice.
Coffee. It's what's in our cup. It's black, hot, and yummy. Sometimes with cream. You know, that's the kind of stuff you get, you know?
That was just a taste.
That was just a tiny snippet sampling.
Just a smidge.
It was just a tip of what we could do. I mean, wouldn't you love to have your commercials sandwiched in between that and, you know...
Anything else?
Anything else we do? So, you know what was announced? Super 7 is doing the Thunder Tank. I know we mentioned it last week, but we've gotten to see more of the Thunder Tank.
Oh, yeah.
And
it's huge.
It's glorious.
It's just so big.
It's just fantastic. I don't know where I put it.
Well, we measured it and it would take up literally our entire coffee table.
Yeah.
We could maybe put a coffee cup next to it. That's about it.
Yeah, it's 27 inches long by 17 inches wide. So I would like to have it. I'm considering...
Kiddo would like to have it, too.
I would love to figure out how to get a GoFundMe going quickly because it is expensive. And I have no fault in, like, you know, Super 7, they've done a fantastic job in my mind of recreating the Thunder Tank because it is to scale. It's in 7-inch scale. And, you know, Brian Flynn is out there defending this thing. And I don't think he has to defend the price tag because it's a designer toy.
You know, it totally makes sense for the price.
It is a designer toy that opens up, it moves, you know, it fits 4 figures.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing is the scale.
Yeah, it's massive. Like, some people only wish they could get something that big. And that's what we can wish, is that we can have something that big.
Well, I've seen some of the stuff that, like, the Hot Toys, just think of the statues idea. I mean, this is actually a toy that you can do something with.
Yeah.
Opposed to the things that literally just sit there.
Mm-hmm. That are thousands.
Thousands of dollars. So, no, I think it's asinine.
It moves and, you know, so it's just
I would like everyone to know that Mike's mimicked the moving, too, which was just awesome. He was, like, pretending to be the Thunder Tank for a moment.
Well, that's what you do when you do it, right? Yeah. If you don't make your arms go up and down like the Thunder Tank, you are not a Thundercats fan. I'm gatekeeping right now.
Ooh.
So, another thing that Super 7 announced, though, was that they're doing Silverhawks. Now, I've never actually watched Silverhawks, so I can't really say too much about it.
But now we've seen Thundercats roar, and now we know.
Yep. So we saw an episode of Thundercats Roar where they're on the TV and the batteries die on the remote and Silverhawks starts playing on their television, which I thought was awesome because there's always the idea that the Silverhawks are part of the Thundercats world. Well, they absolutely hate this thing and it's like they're calling it the worst thing ever because the theme song on Roar starts with Silver. Right? And it's like, this is the longest theme song ever.
It was totally mocking itself.
Yeah.
And it was hilarious.
So Lion-O pieces out to get batteries, which he ends up meeting Hachiman. So speaking of which, we've seen Hachiman recently also on regular Thundercats episode and this Thundercats episode. And I'd like to say, Super 7, please, next wave, bring out Hachiman.
Yeah.
I need a little samurai to battle my Thundercats.
Agreed.
And also he would go great battling the turtles. So, but Lion-O goes out to go get batteries and he battles Hachiman while the Thundercats stay home and they are stuck watching Silverhawks. By the time Lion-O gets back, they're fully invested and they realize that once you get through the first weird few episodes, it's okay.
Right.
So I thought it was kind of a funny thing.
Yeah.
But lots of people are excited for Silverhawks. They're going to be making figures eventually. But they're starting off with soft goods and cups and stuff like that. But Silverhawks was never my jam. I never saw it. So I can't really say much about it. I tried watching like a trailer for it and I found it very goofy. It didn't sell me. It's one of the older ones, right?
If it's an older one, then you would have had to have nostalgia for it, really.
Exactly.
To find something new like that would be a different level.
So. Yeah, right. So that's pretty cool. I'm actually kind of sad with Toy Fair being canceled. They originally announced that it was going to be coming out in May. They were going to, we'll try to do Toy Fair. Now they've canceled that as well. Toy Fair stuff would be about next weekend or so. Mm-hmm. I'm actually sad that there hasn't been a real big push for a lot of other companies to show things. Super 7 showed a bit. They more or less announced new licenses. They didn't really show anything new because they've been having so many problems with delays because of COVID.
Yeah, it'd be hard to keep manufacturing plans going, right?
So it's kind of a weird little lull right now. I'm dying to see new toys, even just stuff that's announced, right? So
just to be clear, he always is, though.
Yeah.
Always.
Well, I always like seeing what's new.
I know. That's live and breathe that one.
It's like
that's okay.
It's like my sports draft.
Yeah, it is.
You're like, what's coming up? Who's the next player, right? Oh, look what so and so's doing with that line. Damn, right? You sit back. Because no one's really showing a lot of things. I am still impressed by McFarlane, though. Like, some of that stuff's looking really awesome, especially for the dark metal and the Dark Knights and all those kind of things.
I'm excited about the Alice in Wonderland anniversary pops from Funko.
Those are pretty dope.
There's one with Alice in the Flower Garden, and that one is really cool.
That was probably my favorite one that they showed.
Yeah, because my Alice pop that I have is the old original style. Yeah. And so I need a dynamic one of her, and that would be really cool to be able to get.
With the flowers, it's so iconic, right? Right? That was one thing, though, that there was a lot of stuff that Funko showed. Funko did do a bit of a Funko fair. Mm-hmm. And they showed a lot of stuff, but, like, some of the stuff we've already seen in stores. That's right. When we were in Toy Traders the other weekend, we saw some of the things that they had announced, right? Yeah. So, have you ever wanted to have nostalgia and walk down a lane full of amazement? Go to Toy Traders in Langley. See? Ads are fun, right? That was not an ad. That was not a real ad, in case any ones out there going, oh my God, it's an ad. No,
it's just we promote the hell out of the place because we love it.
Yeah, so it's fantastic. And I haven't been there for a while. I'm kind of dying to go. I'm itching for a new toy.
I might go tomorrow. Only to look for things for you.
Yeah, but still, it's without me.
I don't know. It depends on if I can.
So, okay, you got to come back with McFarlane then.
Okay, I'm not going in there.
Damn it.
Oh, so this is off topic, but, I don't have any new toy stuff to talk about. So I was watching a Sailor Moon episode today.
It's not that far off topic.
I know, but still, it's my only thing I got going on right now. It's not like you started
talking about panties or something.
I don't want to justify that with an answer.
Oh, maybe she is.
So in the episode, they get invited to this. There's this proper English gentleman that has this estate there that Momo knows, and they're like, because he's in college now and he's like learning all these fancy new topics, and he's like mingling with the community of college students. Well, this English gentleman is holding like this ball type thing, and so he actually invites all of them, and they decide to show up. Well, they're complaining because they're trying to study their English and they're having a really hard time with it. Well, he's like, it'll give you a good time to actually practice your English in a real setting, because they're going to be speaking proper English, so it's like intense, expectations for them. So they all show up, and Usagi just totally panics, and she's over there trying to look up different types of translation in her little book, and what she doesn't realize is she walked away from all of them, and the English guys are actually speaking Japanese, so then everything is fine. So she's freaking out. So she's like, I need to have some juice to calm down. This is like the third time she has done this, and she starts just taking back the wine. She doesn't realize that it's alcoholic. So she shows back up, and she's just plastered. And she's going off and talking about all these things that she needs to talk to the Englishmen about. And it was hilarious. She's slurring her words. She's like falling over, and everyone's just mortified. And she's just, it was hilarious. It was funny because some of them, they're like corny and weird, and this one was just actually like funny. Nice. Because she wasn't actually just being stupid. It was her, being, it was like, oh wow, it's funny because she's drunk, and she had no idea too. They're like, oh my God, what did you do? She's like, I just had some juice. Oh my God, Usagi. So I thought that was amusing.
That's hilarious.
And then, because they were supposed to be at this waltz, and the daemon that showed up was this like horrible music making daemon, and they were like, Usagi described it as if she had a hammer inside of her head, and that's what it was basically fighting with, is just the horrible music. So that was
That's funny.
Never
Well,
was.
I'm glad that you're
Drunk as
enjoying
hell.
it because you've had your ups and downs. You got
Some of the episodes
you
are
got
like,
like
oh
a
my God.
love-hate relationship going on with Sailor Moon.
I love the manga so much, and the anime has its highs and lows. But I'm like so close to now having an event that actually happens in the manga that it's like it's killing me. I'm like, oh my God, I need
They
to get
just
through
tease
this.
you just a little bit. They're like you're almost there.
Almost,
You're almost.
and then,
you're
we
almost.
gotta wait a little bit longer, and it's like, I almost had it.
So speaking of all these innuendos,
Yeah,
you know what was just announced this past few days?
Let's see where this is going.
Batman Forever Hot Toys.
Oh yeah.
So we don't get bat nipples on the bat suit because it's a sonar suit. So then we know that it was the end of the movie, and he just got a really giant bat symbol. But we do get our nipples on our Robin.
Oh, you know what else we get?
We also get a dick.
Oh, it's a mighty huge dick.
They have outdone themselves on the size of Dick Grayson's codpiece.
It's overwhelming. Like literally, that's the first thing
You could
see.
poke someone's eye out with that.
It's huge.
Like it. That's the first thing you almost see when you see that figure.
Yeah. No, literally,
Like-
it's like whoa.
Yeah. So a little
There's a
shocked
dick.
at that. Hey, and it's going to be a dick in a box.
It is a dick.
So
Oh my God! Yes.
suddenly you wanted to buy
It's a dick
it.
in a box. I do just for that.
Yep. You just always keep that one in the box, and
Yeah.
then you'd be like, "Hey, you want to see my dick in a box?"
Which is one of the best SNL skits ever.
Right. So yeah. You know what I was thinking about?
You better keep your dick in a box.
Yes,
just never ends.
A lot of people might keep their dick
They
in
are
the
going to
box.
keep their dick in the box.
There might be a lot of people that take their dick out and take pictures of it. They might pose it. They might play with it. They might even put on the accessories.
Oh, this is fabulous.
So if you like dick humor, watch Big Mouth on Netflix. See, we can do it. We can do it all night.
Marketing machine.
But yeah, I was a little surprised by that. I will have a hard time if they bring out the Jim Carrey as Riddler. I might have a hard time saying, like, can we get that?
Yeah.
Because
It would be totally random to have this old movie Riddler, but it would be pretty
awesome if he came with the cane,
Yeah.
and the spandex suit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like
You know what? You would be someone that I would love to have a Riddler for Halloween.
in a spandex suit.
No, it doesn't have to be in a spandex suit. I mean, that'd be fine, but it's just the character. I can just see you prancing around like Jim Carrey.
Well, I prance around all the time.
I
so
know, right? So you just put you in
I
green.
slunk sometimes even.
You do.
But no, that would be fun. Yeah, I don't know what it is about that version of like, even though like the movie's
it's Jim
ridiculous, it's just a fun movie. Like even though it's just like campy and all that. I was really sad when I'd seen that report that McFarlane was going to be doing Batman Forever figures, and then I found out it was fake. I was just like, oh, would have been awesome.
That sucks.
But so where I was going to go though with the Grayson thing, this is like the thought process. So I was thinking about it. So, that is our real first ever live act. Well, no, we had Burt Reward, I guess, but then we got, the angry Dick of the Schumacher era. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have now with Titans.
He's not nice at all. Like,
no, he's not charismatic.
Well, because that was the only. Oh God, that was my first introduction to Dick. I couldn't help it.
Hey, you know what?
And that was all I knew of the character. And then after you're telling me about it, it's totally wrong.
Well, yeah. It's just the angry. It's the version of him that's like.
And then
when they're like breaking up, but he's breaking up just as it starts.
Right? And it's interesting because looking at it after the fact, you look at it and you're like, why do I even care that he's leaving? He had no relationship with them anywhere. Like, there was no development to care about a broken relationship at all. So it's very frustrating, but I digress.
So you have that there. You then also have Titans, which in Canada is on Netflix, or on HBO Max.
Nice.
Which used to be DC Universe. But he's on there, but he's all self-doubting and he's all kind of whiny and emo-y. Like, he's not really like Dick Grayson. He's just, And then in the like Snyderverse...
every other CW world.
Yeah, right. Then the Snyderverse, he's dead. So,
Oh yeah.
so because they've confirmed that he's actually the Robin that was killed.
Yeah.
So it's amazing.
Why did they do that?
Why did they do what?
Why did they make him the one that died?
Because everyone
wants to kill Nightwing.
Yeah, well, everyone loves Jason Todd as a Red Hood, so it probably was some weird backdoor thing that WB didn't want to have. I don't know. Who knows what DC?
No one knows what they want to do.
But that I was just like, and then they had the guy. Then they had Dick Grayson in the Lego Movie, and that was wow.
Yeah.
Completely off. So it is a shame of like how much this character is loved. But yet, when it comes to media, even the comics, sometimes they just like beat that dick down,
right?
But he keeps getting back up, and he's like 80 years old, and he keeps coming at you. But when it comes to media, they just want to pound it to the ground and make a joke out of it,
Oh, it's good times.
So,
poor Dick.
Yeah. Just springs back up, but because he's an acrobatic.
I know, right?
He's a gymnast.
Jeez,
I don't know where your mind's
out of gutter, people.
God, we talk about Dick for a moment, and you instantly get in your pants. I mean, I'm talking about Dick Grayson, Richard Grayson, Nightwing,
and we learned from our History of Swearing episode why they're named that,
right? And if I was you talk about penises, I'd just use Gravy Spigot. I'd be clear for you all, right? So that you were clear that, we're talking about Dick or we're talking about Gravy Spigot, So when we're talking about the hot toys, we're talking about Dick Grayson's Gravy Spigot is huge.
Well, it's implied to be huge.
Yeah. He probably just molded it.
It's just like, we needed some more extra room in here.
What's worse is Alfred made that costume for him in that movie.
Oh, yeah, that's worse. All right.
Like as a surprise almost.
Yeah.
So
he wasn't sure and he just wanted to give ample space just in case, because you never know, But I mean, it would be difficult. You don't want that thing flopping around in there while you're running.
Well, those molded
that would
suits.
be really difficult. Right? I mean, that would just be hard. You got to make sure that it's contained.
Because that could hurt.
Yeah, it would.
Because of like that silicone rubber suit. Well, silicone rubber suit is like putting your hand in a cup and shaking it around.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why he's so grumpy.
Maybe he's angry that way, yeah.
Because his balls keep getting knocked around. He's got no support.
Yep.
He's got no Spanx under there.
Yeah, jeez.
Right? Little ball holders.
Okay.
Anyways, I don't even know why we're here anymore.
Maybe we should move on.
Move on. Let's all go to the movies. We're gonna find a movie. We went on Netflix and we picked out a movie. Yeah.
So we randomly chose something off our list that had been sitting around there, and we got Guy Ritchie's The Gentleman.
Gentlemen.
Men.
There's multiple men.
There's multiple men. Focus. Mind out of the gutter. I don't know. Some of those gentlemen would be fine, but
So what is A Gentleman about, Catherine?
So it's about kind of the seedy underground, basically, over in
England.
And it is Matthew McConaughey plays a weed kingpin, basically.
Yeah.
He's like the best
grower.
Grower in the area.
Not a shower. But he will show if you're going to buy his business.
I think we have found the theme of the episode. Anyways, so it's basically a mystery. He decides he's going to try to get out of the business and sell it. So he's trying to figure out how to get ahead of the game before he anticipates it's supposed to be legal within a certain number of years too. So he kind of just wants to be out and done with it now. And but then there is the idea of it all kind of starts backfiring and things start going wrong, and it starts with a story of what it almost felt like a news guy, but it was a guy that was blackmailing someone.
Yeah, right off the bat though, I was confused because I thought Hugh Grant's character was actually trying to sell a script to Charlie Hunnam or whatever Hunnam character. I thought that's what the movie was about, and I was like, that's weird that they're telling the movie, like he's selling a script and they're showing the movie at the same time, and then it clicked. I was like, oh, okay, so this is like a news report because he's been spying on McConaughey's character.
He's spying on everything, so he knows all of this, and he knows all the stuff that they don't know as well.
Yeah,
so they know.
They don't know. We know that they know that they know
exactly, right?
That we know.
So it was actually like once you got into it and started seeing it kind of unravel and realize what was the setup for it, and that
it was a slow start.
It was slow, but it did pick up. But yeah, it basically follows through, and then you kind of get that wrap up at the end of the bad guy, and there were some harsh points to it.
It's mainly the language, if anything.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of F-bombs, a lot of C-bombs, and a lot of bombs, and a lot of
dirty English swearing.
Yeah. Got me all hot and bothered.
But I still really enjoyed it. Once you got over, Colin Farrell, he was a great job for it. His character was hilarious. He's basically a coach. He's trying to help all these youth kind of get off the streets, but then he ends up getting pulled in to kind of owing them a favor because the kids went and did something stupid and broke into one of the places and broadcast one of his farms. Yeah. And so he kind of gets pulled into helping out, and he ends up actually really helping out and solving a lot of their problems, and like the little side offshoots, because McConaughey is not he's trying to be a decent guy. Like he's just trying to be a business. He's not trying to be some scary, thug type thing. But he is, he can be scary when pushed. When pushed, right? And really what they talked about, though, is that his real weakness is making sure you don't mess with his wife. Yeah. And that's when you see the scary side of him, is when his wife gets attacked. Yeah. And then there was zero doubt at all of how badly things were going to go for the other guy. So, but it's a bit of that takedown, and people trying to encroach on territory and kind of a drama of that.
Yeah, so. It's a typical Guy Ritchie movie. Heist kind of like pull back.
It definitely felt you could tell that it was his type of movie.
And then there was the lovely self promotion by having the Man from U.N.C.L.E. poster in the background.
Weird. Yeah,
like in a Miramax building, even though Miramax didn't produce it as far as I'm aware. So
see how they're entangled with that one.
Yeah, apparently.
I love the Man from U.N.C.L.E. though.
Yeah. You know what? It's interesting because you get into these movies. You get so many movies now. I'm going to go on a little tangent though. And then because of social media and because of all these things that are happening, it's amazing how many people are dirty and twisted, and it's making it harder to enjoy things or find the enjoyment. Right?
Oh yeah.
The fact that like Armie Hammer is now part of he's been accused of what
was he accused of? I can't remember now. It was actually pretty bad, wasn't it?
It was bad, abusive texts that also led to possible cannibalism.
Yeah.
So he's now getting dropped like a rock from movies left, right, and center.
You know what? Actually, I just saw too. There was something on Twitter that some producer, or it was on Instagram, someone in Hollywood had that exact same type of problem, and his ex-girlfriend was going after him about. It was essentially sexy cannibalistic sounding talk. Yeah. And it was the idea that it was and people were defending him, saying that this community is actually much bigger than you think and everything like that. And it's I understand that fetishes exist. Yeah. And I get it. And most of the time they're deemed that for being a little bit more, whoa out there for some people. Right. Yeah. But yeah, it was just kind of a weird concept then to think about that, right.
It's you got stuff like that, and you look at these things, it's getting to the point where we really have to start separating art from the artist. Yeah. Right. Because can you go and enjoy The Unusual Suspects knowing that both Spacey and Singer did some bad stuff to people.
Yeah.
Right. Like,
and it's hard to say with Arm Hammer. I mean,
it's allegations at this point.
Right? And, I'm not like it would be great to get text like that or anything like that. But at the same time, something like that opposed to like full on like raping someone, there's definitely a line there.
But like,
but it's hard because every single person has a problem and they mess up, and at some point, I mean, unless you're actually proven guilty for things, like where do you draw that line?
It's wild.
It's a tricky thing.
Marilyn Manson has now been dumped by his record label because he apparently was abusive as well.
Yeah.
So he's also being dropped from American Gods. He was apparently in season 3, or was having something come up in season 3.
Because Rose McGowan came out in defense of With All the Women too.
Yeah.
And she's like, just because he wasn't like that with me doesn't mean that he wasn't like that with them. And it's, it's
Rachel Evan Wood is his main thing. I know this is a tangent, but it's just that idea of like figuring out where, so definitely when you find, I guess
it's hard. By all means, they should be held accountable for things that actually are causing damage to people. I 100% agree with that. And a lot of, when it comes to performance stuff, a lot of it is still PR aspect so I don't blame the labels for dropping them.
Oh, yeah.
But at the same time, it's frustrating that if, making sure that it's real before you have all this blowback for things. Yeah. But I do know that they're also trying to promote the fact that for how many years and years and
decades.
Years, and yeah, exactly, obscene amount of time has it been that women are generally not taken into account, that everything they say they're just lying about, and men unfortunately have gotten away with horrible acts for a very long time. So it's this really weird, tricky water to navigate around, right?
So I guess it's the idea of trying to figure those balances out. That was I just thought of it, especially with my uncle and everything. Like
deep thoughts covered, right?
Yeah. It's definitely become a strange world when it comes to those.
Yeah.
So what do you think? What did we say? Like, so with the gentleman?
Honestly,
what would you say to someone that,
if you like Guy Ritchie movies, I would recommend watching it. But if you don't like Guy Ritchie movies in the past, you're probably not going to like it. Yeah. The only issue would be, of course, the language. They have very thick accents for a number of the characters. So, that's just a barrier that could be there. Like, I know, like, my mom would have a hard time hearing some of that type of stuff.
And you also see Matthew McConaughey and just think of him in his Lincoln commercials. Though.
Oh my God. It started out with that and I was like, I'm watching an SNL Lincoln commercial. I'm
driving around in London in my Lincoln. Oh yeah. All right. I'm a gangster.
So yeah, that's basically where it would be. Like, I still enjoyed it. Yeah. It was very slow to start, but give it a chance, and it does come around, and it's interesting to see how it all kind of plays out. Once
Colin Farrell shows up, it gets a little quicker.
Yes, because the action really starts picking up and go from there with it. So, I liked when they had to go and try to find a girl, and that whole scene that followed out. It was actually dark and twisted, but comedic all at the same time.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you like that style of movie, I think it would.
Hugh Grant did a good job in Charlie Hunman.
He did. Hugh Grant did a great job. He was
kind of unrecognizable, which was kind of interesting.
Yeah, at first I was like, oh, whoa, this is Hugh Grant, but their banter back and forth is really quite funny.
Yeah, I like their scenes probably the most.
Yeah,
especially when it got to the end there.
Yeah.
So yeah, like it grew on me as time went on. Like it's a slow boil.
Yeah,
for sure. Like you're kind of like watching a pot ready to boil, and then when it goes, it just
all sorts
explodes.
Of satisfaction. Had to come back around to the theme anyway, right? There we go. So next movie, Mike.
We decided to break into a classic Jack Black film because Kiddo has gotten into a lot more band stuff.
He's starting percussion.
Yeah. So we decided to check out School of Rock, also on Netflix.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah. So
I hadn't seen that for a really long time.
Yeah.
And so that was fun because I remember liking it, but honestly, if you would ask me like the plot of the movie, I wouldn't have been able to tell you everything about it. So that was exciting.
So Jack Black plays basically a guitarist in a band that really isn't going anywhere.
He gets kicked out of his band
because he's too intense. Guitar solos, crowd surfing, right? It's your typical, late 90s, early 2000s Jack Black, like, explosion of him just giggity, giggity, giggity all over the place.
Yeah.
Shoobala babale boo boo bop. And, so his roommate's saying, you got to pay me or I'm kicking you out.
No, his roommate's girlfriend is saying this.
And, yeah. So he answers the phone one day, and his roommate is a teacher, a substitute teacher, or temp. He takes a call, pretending he is.
Yeah, he gets called to this private school that's supposed to be the best.
$15,000 a month, I think they said.
No, it was a year.
Okay.
Well, $15,000 a month would be asinine, but I'm sure that it exists.
Nowadays it does. Probably a week.
I know, right? So he kind of fools his way in there because they're desperate to find this coverage. And it's a 4th grade class. And she basically just throws him in there and then says, good luck. And he decides that because he was going to go to Battle of the Bands, he decides he hears a music class and there's some decent musicians. Yeah. So he decides he's going to make his own band for Battle of the Bands.
Yeah. He decides to teach them what rock is all about.
Yeah. You know what's funny is watching him talk to the students and the way he acts and everything.
Wrong!
That was me when this would have come out. Like that's exactly who I was. And I could laugh at it a lot more now when I wasn't like in defense of everything he was doing was okay. Like I could see the error of his ways, but also really appreciate still that he's trying to teach them about rock and the history of stuff. But I am that person where it's like, what the hell? You mean you haven't heard of this band? How do you not know this? How do you not know this song? How do you know what? These are the greatest people ever. And I'm still kind of like that. So I'm trying to teach kiddo some of that stuff and introduce him to that. But in a nicer, more friendly, approachable way.
Kind of gentler. I'd really like it if you took a moment to check this one out of your time. I
really need you to understand why Led Zeppelin is one of the greatest rock bands ever.
And then the truth comes out. You will listen to this, you will like it, and if you don't, you can pack your bags and get out now.
Yeah, no, that was never thought that at all.
Ouch.
Never.
Now.
Hey, David.
We aren't talking, we're packing.
We're packing. Kiddo's reaction was priceless.
He laughed a lot.
A lot. Halfway through the movie, he looks at me and he says, Mom, thank you for letting us watch this.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh my God, this is the cutest thing ever. Like, I'm so happy right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think because it was a good time period for him, because he could put himself in the situation of the students, and he could think like, what would be happening if I was experiencing this? And I think that was a really unique feel for him, because he could really, kind of immerse himself into and think how hilarious that would be if someone like that showed up as a substitute for him, and he was hysterical.
Yeah.
So
no, totally. It was fun to watch. I had a lot of fun with the movie. The movie is still funny. I still enjoy it. Yeah. It's still got a lot of heart.
Oh, that last scene.
It touched me just as I'm touching you right now.
And I'm pretty sure that
you're touching yourself right now. You could be. Your hand could be on your knee.
Let's all touch each other.
Yep. Just take a moment.
That was so funny though when he says that.
Oh, kiddo was just like, that sounds so wrong.
He's like, that doesn't sound right. Oh my God. The look on his face. Oh shit. What did I just say? But that last scene though, with the whole, with the Battle of the Bands performance, like I got all goosebumpy and emotional. I was like, oh my God, I can tell my age. I've just got an emotional Jack Black movie. But
there was children.
It was the power of the music, and it was just so wonderful. Oh my God. And the parents coming around and like appreciating it. Just tear my heartstrings there.
Yep.
There you go.
She's getting old and sentimental.
I know. No, I have soft spot for music, right? So,
yeah.
And people's appreciation and once you find the love, man.
Find the love in the music.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, man.
So then we, speaking of that, though, I got Kiddo a practice drum pad and some drumsticks that he needed for school. And so then we had to slightly help him, not just bang the ground with it, trying to find a little bit of rhythm for him. And so we started finding kind of some classic rock, classic drum songs,
heavy
drum percussion songs, and trying to get him to kind of go tap along the beat, trying to find the beat in it, and
get the rhythm. The rhythm
has to get you, and so that was been fun. So.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. But yeah, you know what? I still really like School of Rock. I really think it's worthwhile. If you haven't seen it, check out School of Rock. It's funny.
I found out my sister hadn't seen it yet. I was all excited to tell her that we showed it to Kiddo, and she's like, I haven't seen this. Oh my God. My sister, who's older than me, who also appreciates music as much as I do.
Get out!
Get out! Oh my God. Come back to me when you've watched the movie. Anyways.
So we also decided that we really would like Netflix and other streaming services to create the 90 minutes or less movie section.
Yeah, I want a search filter for that.
Yeah, because, a lot of the times we've been running into that we've needed shorter movies, because I get up so early now that we're only watching movies more on the weekend, less during the week. Yeah. So 90 minutes or less would be a fantastic category. So Netflix, 90 minutes or less. Longer than it takes to get a pizza, but sometimes just as long. So
we'll promote the 90-minute or less movies. Hey, guess what, everyone? Have you checked out the 90 minutes or less category on Netflix?
Right.
I mean, come on. Jeez, it's just marketing gold right here.
It's a perfect thing, especially when you got to go to bed early, Yeah. So what we found on Amazon Prime comes with your Amazon subscription because why not? The rental was on Amazon in Canada. I found out from a buddy that it was not in the States, so I'm sorry.
Yeah, my mom, she was like, "Oh, go look at it." I was like, "I'm sorry, check. You won't be able to watch it." She's like, "Oh." So
it stars Alison Brie and Dan Stevens. It's directed by Dave Franco. So his directorial debut. It's a horror movie. Mm-hmm. It's in the 90 minutes or less section. That should be an episode. We need to do an episode.
90 minutes
or less.
Yeah. I like it.
It's longer than foreplay. So
I'm not even going to touch that one.
But you should if you want it to last no more than 90 minutes. But the rental is a horror movie. Horror-ish movie. Not whore-ish movie. Because that would be weird. That could be the same title, too. Depending on what you want to be. Where you want to go.
So this movie makes me not want to use like a B&B service or rent someone's house out, especially out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Definitely not. Like, oh my God, no. Ever thought of that? Nope, that's out now.
So the movie, I'm going to spoil it because it's been out for a while now, actually. But it'll be easier. So the movie is the idea that there's these two business partners. They've scored some big win for their company, so they decide they're going to go have a party. And it's just them and their significant others, which turns out to be his brother and his wife, which his brother is dating his business partner. Mm-hmm. So they decide to rent a house out near the ocean. Mm-hmm. So they decide to go out there. Well, as they're going out there, the business partner, she's very unhappy because her request was denied. And his was accepted, and him being a white male, it was the idea of racism, right? Mm-hmm. So she's already up in arms about that they should.
She just assumes the guy is just a racist prick.
So she wants to wish they chose somewhere else, right? So they get there. So she's confrontational with the guy, and the guy comes across a bit like a racist dick. Mm-hmm. But he's also, you can't really tell, so you're just like, you're
not quite sure,
right? What's going on, right? So. They
she's already just agitated.
Yeah. So they start partying, and drugs are involved. So this movie follows the stereotypical, if you drink, do drugs, and have sex, bad things will happen to you.
Yep.
So, first I'll say that I did enjoy the movie. I liked it. It was really interesting and creepy and well done.
I really did enjoy it too.
But it does follow that same trope of those three things. And it's when you mix them. If you you got to mix all those things, because everyone that did drugs and drank and or had sex died, right? So, but the movie has some twists and turns because it goes a lot of places I didn't expect.
Yeah.
Right.
There was some things that you couldn't really pin down.
Yeah, which was really refreshing because like it was going one way and you're like, oh, okay, so it's going exactly the way that we thought it was going to go. And all of a sudden it twists and you're like, it didn't go that way. Now it became a, I know what you did last summer kind of feel where, and then out of the left field, something else happens, and now we're in the traditional slasher movie. Yeah. Where you're just like, what? And then it just ends.
We had this, we were trying to think of like what could have possibly happened, and then it went in a completely different direction. I was kind of disappointed with our theory that it didn't pan out that way, but at the same time, it's actually kind of worse because then it shows that he's a true serial killer. And
it was creepy because the credits were done over like security footage over other rentals
things. So and there was a lot of them. So this in this little world, this has happened a lot of places at a lot of different rentals. You're like, oh my god, it's not just this place. And that is a spoiler, of course, for it, but because it starts as if it's just this place. And no, it is every place.
And it makes me never want to rent someone's place because like it's freaky. Like
without combing through for cameras.
I was just like, oh no, this ain't right. Like,
So,
but it's another one. It's another slow burn. Definitely. It's not like,
there's much more drama to it.
It's not bloody, gory, like, there's some shock, but
it's mainly it's just drama and the suspense of what's really happening.
It was well put together, right? So,
I really enjoyed it. So hopefully you guys can find it somewhere.
If it's somewhere, definitely check it out. The Rental, Dave Franco, like, that's a fantastic. It was a fantastic movie, and
Alison Brie is married to him, right? You said?
So it's that idea that he has a career like so many others. Like it shows how dark and twisted people that have comedic roots also have.
Very much.
Have, those twisty brains.
Oh yeah, I think that only makes sense, quite honestly.
So speaking of comedy, Spit Roast Podcast has now changed their name to Mooncat Podcast.
I saw.
To go with their Mooncat Productions. That's right. Those Irish bastards are at it again with more content. And because you said a boot a lot for us, that's why I call you an Irish bastard. So, Adam and Heidi, good on you for changing your name and going another direction, especially when you're trying to rebrand towards your movie-dom and all that. So, congrats y'all on doing that. Episode 1, their reboot was fantastic for all what they've been doing because they've been also doing movie stuff and all that. So, nice. So check them out too. And this has not been a paid one, but I'm waiting for my check, especially for my voiceover in your next film. So. And with that, what else can we say?
That's all the movies we watched.
Oh, hi, Simon. Don't want to let you feel, I haven't talked to you for a while.
Hi, Simon.
What up, bud? Brew Pill's back. I saw there was an episode, which is pretty cool. Nice. Yeah.
I'm out. I'm spent.
You're spent? You had too much dick?
Had to bring it back to that.
Yep. So
I think this is the dick episode.
Episode 115. The dick episode. So I suggested we do some romance movies, and Katie said
we should do movies that you wish were romance movies. Date movies, sorry. You wish were
I said
movies.
Then any movie's a date movie because, as a teenager, you just dragged your date to whatever movie.
Yeah.
Because that's where you'd be like, ooh, it's dark. Come touch me. And then you're like,
let me brush my shoulder against you. Yes. It's so sexy.
Oh. Is that butter on your hands? Or are you just happy to see me?
Oh, God. Oh, don't forget the knee rub.
Oh, yeah.
You got to rub
Sensual
the legs
knee
together.
rub. Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Yeah.
They made it easier when they got the armrests that move up,
Yeah.
Then you can snuggle.
Yes.
So we're going to watch Titanic because that is, to me, connected to Valentine's
When are we
Day.
going to have time to watch Titanic?
Because that was the movie I watched on Valentine's Day.
We're going to have to watch that in like 3 parts.
I know. Are you kidding? That's not going to happen.
Titanic?
No, I don't want to watch Titanic. You just skip to the sex scene and be done with it. I'm just joking. I have never.
If you want to do that, why don't we just throw some porn on? Like, would that be easier?
Let's just be honest. No, I'm just joking. No, I don't know. What are we going to do?
Or do you want to draw me like a French lady? I'll let you come on my door.
Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness. Oh, my God.
Now what you have to ask is, how was that spelt?
Well, I would like to know, ask what type of, what do you consider a date movie, or what would you... Romantic movies. Because, I mean...
When Harry Met Sally.
We know how...
Where You Got Mail, Sleepless in Seattle.
I mean, those are all fine, but I've seen You've Got Mail more times than I can count.
I haven't seen any of those.
You've never... Oh, my God.
Ha! Guess what? We probably won't be able to find it because streaming.
Oh my! You've never seen You Got Mail?
I probably have seen something of it, but
my mother loves that movie. So of course it was on.
Why
all
would
the time.
I have watched that movie?
No, it makes no sense.
Like, I'm like Tom Hanks, Saving Private Ryan. Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
That's completely not appropriate for our times anymore.
No.
I've watched Philadelphia. I've seen
and I've never seen that.
Castaway.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
Like,
no, see, mine are those ones I would have seen.
Teenager?
My aunt watched them, and then my mom, of course.
How as a teenager when that came out, how was I to relate to a 40-something male emailing someone?
100% agreed.
Being like, "Hey,
so
this is my impression of the movie. I am horny. Come meet me somewhere for coffee."
Oh, goodness.
And she goes,
"We have to watch this movie just so you stop this atrocious thought on it."
No, I'll get coffee, no cream, bitch.
Please tell me you know more about the synopsis than that.
I like books.
Oh, goodness. Okay. You've Got Mail she's a small bookstore, and he's a big
bookstore that he needs to fill her shelves with his massive amounts of books. Maybe I watched the wrong trailer.
You've got dick.
I've got a delivery.
You would come on and hear us talking about porn. Jeez,
I've got a delivery of these books.
Oh, goodness.
Where would you like me to fill those shelves?
I don't know what kind of porn you watched either.
Right over here.
Anyways, on a serious note, on
a serious note,
I think Mike's better. I swear we just had coffee. I don't think there was anything in it.
I don't know what's going on. But yeah, okay, so I had mentioned the idea.
Okay, never mind. I'm not even going to try anymore. No, you go ahead. I'm done.
Do it.
I'm done.
Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it.
I don't even know what I was going to say.
So yeah, who knows? We do have we do have a couple. We're doing like a bit of a listener's choice. So I got 2 movies suggested for that. They're both on streaming.
Oh, we can't watch a movie next weekend. It's Super Bowl.
That's on Sunday. We don't watch movies on Sunday.
I know.
Sports. My big, strong woman over here and her sports.
The one day a year I watch football. I'm just joking. I really could care less about it. Trying to stay away from all the Super Bowl food anyway.
I don't know. I didn't even plan for that.
I know, right?
The grocery list is made.
I know.
Done.
It's done.
Hey, I think we should end.
I think we need to stop.
We need to go. I'm sorry. I know you're gonna miss us. But this is the end. The podcast is near.
Just the podcast is near.
Something. Watch out for your rear.
Yeah, we need to leave.
It's all the end.
It's just gonna go downhill.
It's
I mean, if it hasn't already gone downhill.
It's down the gutter. You haven't had us be a little goofy for a while. So to recap, The Gentleman, School of Rock, and The Rental.
I'd recommend all of them.
Yeah.
It was just a good day, good times.
Lots of different things there. You had comedy, you had drama, action, you had swearing.
Look at that. We had all sorts of things.
It was all over the place. Yeah.
Experience.
Yeah.
I like it. A little bit of everything.
Yeah. It wasn't very diverse, though.
It was something for everyone. It was very diverse. It was... Nope.
You can't even say that one.
Sure.
But yeah, I don't know what we're doing next week. We'll find out this weekend when we
Hey, SpongeBob is on rental. That's a date movie.
There you go. All right.
Oh, yeah.
But thank you everyone for listening. We really appreciate it.
Yeah.
It's great having you around.
Awesome.
It's awesome being in your ears. So thank you again. We've been having some great months with
thank you to all new listeners, people who stuck around, and
we'll be back at you next week with something fun. So stay rad, everyone.
Thanks for joining us, everyone. Have a wonderful day. Thank you for listening. Want more rad content? Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And don't forget to subscribe, rate us, and leave us a review.
And remember, be excellent to each other and party on, dudes!